and I realized that I was trying to write a book dealing with the work of a very grand saint whose purpose was to write a path of illumination, taking people into themselves through prayer, which is something we haven't talked about, which is what is the nature of prayer.
Okay, let's get into it.
But to go into themselves, because through that they become so powerful, such powerful vessels of transformation for the world around them, they have no idea. They have no idea how powerful people become when they tap into themselves as channels of grace and prayer. They have no idea. This is what the mystics knew. They let their souls do all the work, okay? They let their souls do the work, and they knew that. That's how come a Francis of Assisi or Teresa of Avila changed the world and never left their monasteries. Everybody else leaves their house and they can't do a damn thing. These people changed the world from behind closed walls with the force of their soul. This is what we're talking about. And I knew that if I got that angry every day, that I could never reach the point of interior stillness that this required. So I had to shut down and remove myself from the world and live a monastic life while I wrote this book.
And how long did you do that for?
6 months.
And pretty much didn't go out into the world in that time?
Except when I had to work, but
Yep.
otherwise while I was in, I lived a very monastic life. But in that, I reconnected with the power of prayer. I connected, not reconnected. I finally learned what prayer is. And not prayer like ordinary mortals do. Can I have this? Can I have that? Can I have more of this? Where's my stuff? Can I have more stuff? Is my stuff sleeping with so-and-so's stuff? You know, this kind of thing. I learned what prayer is, which is to withdraw from the seduction of your five senses and withdraw and go deeply, deeply, deeply into an interior space. And imagine yourself wrapped in a cocoon and closing your eyes, and in that moment saying, let nothing, dear God, disturb the silence of this minute. Let nothing disturb this. Let your grace pour in to this place that is harming me, into this diseased body. Let your grace melt through this cancer and heal this. Let your grace melt through this fear. I know that guidance is present. Let me be still with you. There is nothing else in this world. And as you say this prayer and you withdraw from the world, there's nothing else. And pretty soon there is nothing else. And pretty soon the very thought, let nothing disturb the silence of this moment, shifts to the truth. Let nothing disturb. And you feel, you absolutely become one with that moment. And then you move into the greater truth. This day will never come again. This day will never come again. Let nothing disturb that truth. Where do you want me today? Because this day will never come again. I will never see the people I love, maybe, again, as I will see them this day, and they will never see me. These people who agreed by contract to meet me on this earth. How shall I spend this day with them? Now this is a prayer. This is really a prayer. What grace shall I give them? What grace do you want me to have? Because this day of my life will never come again. That is a prayer. That's why I wrote this. Because people need to know what their soul can do in this world. When they finally withdraw from the negativity of thinking that their life should be devoted to crime solving. Who hurt me? Why? Stop it. And discover what it is your soul can really do when you turn it toward illumination. and light.
How did writing this book change you? What happens for you in this process? Because this is powerful stuff.
I fell in love with God. I fell wildly in love with Teresa. I fell in love with prayer. And I fell in love with people. Not in a schmaltzy way. Because
Not in a Hallmark way.
I'm not in a Hallmark way. Because I'm not a Hallmark kind of girl. But in a reverent way. I have a reverence for human beings. And I never did before, Robin.
So does that mean also then there's that compassion, there's that understanding, there's that forgiveness no matter what they do, because their soul is always pure, their behaviour may not be? Is that part of that?
I have a level of compassion that I did not before, which doesn't mean I don't think Bush is stupid and evil.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I struggle with the presence of evil. I struggle with the great big huge, but I also now have a faith in the power of prayer that I never did before. Now I know that when someone closes their eyes and they see someone who is hurting, or a homeless person, and they say, "Dear God, help that person," that grace is delivered unto that person in a second. The instant you close your eyes is the instant grace is there. That to pray for people, to devote 10 minutes of your life to pray for this world
Each day.
makes more difference than you can imagine. Because this world is filled with psychic free radicals, the negativity that people generate. And it has to be purged, and prayer is that. And I'm not talking Catholic prayer, Buddhist prayer, Hindu. I am talking the use of your conscious light as a filter for that.